Hey guys, welcome back. This is the first time I'm gonna make a video like this, and it was actually because a subscriber commented about it. So I'm gonna give it a shot. This is my comparison between Charleston, South Carolina and Savannah, Georgia. To start off with a few similarities. They're both some of the oldest but best preserved cities in America. They have incredible historic architecture and districts, neat cobblestone streets, and near the coast, meaning coastal vibes. But aside from that, here are 9 key differences I noticed between both. Starting with the city layout. When it comes to Savannah, it was founded in 1733 by James Oglethorpe and is one of the first planned cities in the United States. They designed it using a unique grid system layout, which is based around squares. Each ward had a central public square surrounded by homes and public buildings. And today, 22 of the original 24 squares remain, making Savannah famous for its walkability, historic charm, and making each place feel like it has an open green space. The layout also encourages strolling and has a European feel with its tree-lined boulevards. Now, when it comes to the city layout for Charleston, South Carolina, it was founded in 1670 and grew more organically than Savannah. Its layout was influenced by English colonial planning but adapted to local geography. The city was built around a grid pattern in the historic district, with streets centered around civic buildings, churches, and a marketplace. The design at the time prioritized trade, defense, and access to the port rather than the strict symmetry. However, it is more compact with the peninsula layout, and its historic district is very densely packed. While it is walkable, the streets are a little bit more narrow and traffic can be pretty bad. But overall, I prefer the city layout of Savannah. That's because of its very unique historic squares, and it's just filled with beautiful live oak trees and Spanish moss throughout the squares. Next up is comparing and contrasting Charleston and Savannah's architecture. Even though these cities are only 63 years apart from their founding, each one has a very distinct architecture compared to the other. Starting off with Savannah. When it comes to Savannah's architecture, it features Federal, Gothic Revival, and Victorian. A lot of the places have more of a preserved, untouched feel, but the overall architecture of the city is rooted in colonial and early American styles with its symmetrical facades, brick townhouses, and large windows reflecting a more elegant and simple design. Charleston's architecture blows Savannah and almost every single city that I've been to out of the water. It's known for the single houses, pastel colors, wrought iron balconies, grand antebellum mansions, and a lot of 18th century colonial influences. This means a stunning blend of Georgian, Federal, Greek Revival, and Victorian styles with a very strong emphasis on antebellum grandeur. The city is known for its elegant mansions, porches. Everywhere you go here, it is stunning. It's almost like you go way back in time during the Revolutionary War, but everything looks so well preserved. It also has a kind of famous historic strip of colored homes called Rainbow Row. Also, many incredible historic churches and various other historic buildings that reflect its very rich history. Savannah's architecture is a little bit more restrained and symmetrical, while Charleston offers a vast visual variety and ornamentation. And the best street to see all of this, in my opinion, is Broad Street in Charleston. So overall, Charleston tops Savannah with architecture. Next up, I'm going to compare the overall vibe and atmosphere between Charleston and Savannah. I don't really think either one is better or worse here. It's just kind of what I felt while I was there, a random opinion. So when it comes to Charleston, I would say it's more polished, upscale, and a little bit more formal. It leans more towards refinement, very high-end restaurants, luxury shopping, but also still a little bit of a traditional southern charm in there. Also, at least when we were there, it's probably the cleanest large city city we've ever been to by far. Furthermore, in the downtown area, it also seemed like there was less homeless people and crime compared to Savannah and compared to the average large city. However, Savannah has a more laid-back and artsy feel. It's got a haunted gothic flair with a lot of hidden gardens, also old cemeteries, and a reputation for being a little bit more eccentric. It's one of, if not the most haunted city in America. So not sure which vibe you prefer more. Thus, many ghost tours throughout the city. So that's the difference of vibe and atmosphere between the two. Ow, my hand. All of this editing, which leads to this video's sponsor, Bob and Brad hand massager. It's actually really good. The H60 hand massager offers 360-degree heating with NTC intelligent temperature control, heating to 5 to 8 seconds to a soothing 108-degree Fahrenheit. It promotes better circulation and muscle relaxation, ideal for hand pain, arthritis, carpal tunnel, or too much computer work, like editing. It features 3 customizable massage modes: relaxation, healthcare, and activity, and 3 intensity levels. The air compression system provides a gentle encompassing massage, operating quietly below 50 dB for a peaceful experience. Overall, very good for those who work with their hands, whether it's outdoor work or indoor computer work, if your hand ever gets sore. And I'll put the link in the description. But anyways, back to the video. Next is the cultural scene. Charleston actually has a very strong culinary scene with many national known chefs, a very deep culture of the colonial and Revolutionary War. You will see it everywhere you go here, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more later on. When it comes to Savannah's cultural scene, it's home to SCAD, which is the Savannah College of Arts and Design. This gives it a pretty artsy, youthful vibe. This city isn't as well known for the Revolutionary War, but there is a fair amount of Civil War history here. And again, the whole Savannah haunted thing is deep within the cultural scene here. If you want to see a video about the haunted places in Savannah, if you're into that, here is a link to the top right. I'll also put it in the description as well. Next up, I'm going to compare the water access between both cities. Charleston is surrounded by rivers and the Atlantic, with easy access to beaches like Folly Beach and Sullivan's Island. Furthermore, the downtown area is right on the Charleston Harbor, which shows Castle Pinckney. This was built on an island originally in 1797. You can also see it walking alongside the harbor on East Battery Street. But when it comes to water access, I actually like Savannah's a lot more. That's because it's located right on the Savannah River alongside Savannah's famous Riverstreet that has a perfect blend between historic and modern buildings. Also, the city has the Savannah Riverwalk, which is right next to Riverstreet, but this walk stretches many miles. And on top of that, about 20 minutes from downtown is the beach at Tybee Island. Now I'm going to compare overall tourism and crowds from what I saw. Obviously, both are major tourism destinations, but Charleston has very high-end hotels, cruise ships, and national attention. Some can also say it's probably a little bit more expensive. However, Savannah is very popular too. It attracts a different kind of tourists, those who are more into ghost tours, art, and history. I would probably say there's not that big of a difference between the two, but Savannah's St. Patrick's Day celebration is one of the largest and most famous in the United States. The city's great atmosphere, combined with its rich Irish heritage, makes it a must-see event every year. The crowds are massive, drawing hundreds of thousands around the world. And next up, the seventh thing that I'm going to compare is very random, but I decided to throw it in it. Why not? Both cities have very famous trees. See, Charleston has the angel oak tree, about 400 to 500 years old. It's an ancient southern live oak tree located just outside of downtown. As of now, I will say it is the most beautiful, majestic tree I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's absolutely free to see. Savannah, on the other hand, has the Candler oak tree. It's about 300 to 350 years old, and it's located right next to Forsyth Park. But it is a key feature to the park and represents the city's beauty and history. It's nice to stop by, but it's nothing like Charleston's angel oak tree. The next thing I'm going to compare, mainly for those who love the outdoors, are the hiking trails. I would say I hiked the best hiking trail near Charleston and the best hiking trail near Savannah. Charleston has the Audubon Swamp, which is right next to the Magnolia Plantation. But in the Audubon Swamp, there are so many alligators, wildlife all over the place, and this was the place that actually inspired Shrek's Swamp. But what I thought when we were here, it was the closest feeling to being in Jurassic Park that I've ever felt, just minus the dinosaurs. As for the best hiking trail near Savannah, in my opinion, it is Big Ferry Loop. Not only is this a coastal hike in a maritime forest, and it's considered one of Georgia's top 10 hikes in the state, it also has 3 neat landmarks of American history throughout. First, it has the observation tower. Not only are you surrounded by really cool marshland, but it also has the historic road that leads to what used to be at the Savannah Ferry. Also within that trail is the historic moonshine stills from the Prohibition era, and later on, Civil War earthworks. Overall, both trails are really cool in their own way. It really just depends on what you prefer. But if you come here, hiking is mostly free, so why not go on a hike while you're near the city? And the last thing that I'm going to compare between these cities is the neat history and neat historic locations. First off, in Charleston when I was there, it definitely gave off the Revolutionary War type vibe. Obviously, along with many homes and buildings built at that time that are still standing, they even filmed a scene out of the movie The Patriot in downtown Charleston. A few other cool history facts is St. Michael's Church and St. Philip's Church and the Hayward Washington House all hosted George Washington when he visited. Furthermore, this building here at the end of Broad Street is the Old Exchange and Provost Dungeon. It's one of Charleston's most significant and historically rich buildings because it played a central role in the city's colonial and early American history. And below this building is the infamous dungeon. Back in the Revolutionary War, British took control of Charleston in 1780, and the dungeon was used to house and capture American soldiers. And a little bit deeper in downtown is the Powder Magazine, which was built in 1713. It was used to store gunpowder throughout the Revolutionary War and is the oldest building in the city. And outside of downtown, Fort Moultrie and the nearby infamous Fort Sumter. Now, when it comes to Savannah, unlike Charleston, a lot of the history here is actually based on the Civil War, where the Marshall House, which is the hotel we stayed at, used to be a hospital for wounded soldiers. That's one of the reasons why they say this hotel is haunted, and many magazines say that this is the most beautiful but haunted hotel in the country. We actually love staying there, but anyways, there are many sorts of places with interesting and mysterious history here in Savannah, which is why many places claim to be haunted. But when it comes to Jones Street, this beautiful historic district has so many beautiful but well-preserved homes. Along with that, the Pirates House, which is now a restaurant, used to be a place where pirates gathered and some were forced against their will into the dungeon to serve on the sea. The Pirates House is also connected to the oldest still standing home in Georgia. What Savannah also has is what is widely considered to be the oldest continuously used black church in America. So that's it. Those are the 9 comparisons that I could find between both cities. Overall, they're both very awesome places to visit in their own way. Many similarities between the two, but each also have their own perks. Hopefully this video helped you make a decision where to visit. But eventually, I hope you end up visiting both one day. Now, if you want to see all of the top things to do in Savannah, see that video here. But if you want to see the top things to do in Charleston, see that video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed day.